Hello, Merry Christmas and welcome to South Today. In tonight's programme, helping the families of sick children. A new £14 million accommodation block nears completion at the John Radcliffe Hospital. Also tonight, Oxford United prepare to host Manchester City in the quarter-finals of the League Cup.
And later in the programme, the Reading University students dreaming of a carbon-neutral Christmas after setting up a zero-waste society.
Good evening. The charity's launched a final cash bid for a new £14 million family accommodation block at the John Radcliffe Hospital in Oxford. Ronald McDonald House charity still needs about £1 million to complete the unit. When it is finished, it will have 62 beds and offer more space and comfort to families with seriously ill children. Oxfordshire TV pundit Martin Keown, who's an ambassador for the charity, has been to look around, as Catherine DeCosta reports.
It really is amazing.
Spreading some Christmas joy. Martin Keown shared the first glimpse of one of the new bedrooms at Ronald McDonald House with mum Sarah. She's been living at the John Radcliffe for the last 3 months after her 12-year-old daughter caught an infection that left her fighting for her life and paralysed down her left side.
It is a small space and it is our living room, family room, you know, our resting place, our bedroom. It is also sort of a safe haven for us when we need that respite or I need to grieve. Inara took her first visit up to the existing Ronald McDonald units, and it was challenging negotiating her wheelchair, so we couldn't really get her past the narrow corridor, and she had to stand from sort of the doorwell and look at our bedroom.
As well as large family bedrooms, the new accommodation will provide several communal areas, offering space for cooking, eating, laundry, or just simply to relax.
It looks first class. I think it's a great environment. We're now stood in the kitchen. It's a huge space. It's about looking after the families that are trying to support their loved ones and creating that home feeling that they do here is absolutely fantastic.
The new accommodation's being built on land donated by the Oxford University Hospital Trust. It's taken a year to get to this point and should be ready to welcome its first guests by late spring.
We've had a small house in Oxford ever since the new Children's Hospital opened, and that's on the top floor of the existing Children's Hospital, but it's only got 17 bedrooms and it's just not big enough. So the benefit of this new building is that we'll have 62 bedrooms and we'll be able to help 3 times the number of families.
Wow, look at this. What do you think of this?
Families like Sarah's, who'll soon have more time and space to spend by their child's side. Catherine DeCosta, BBC South Today.
The main road between Oxford and Swindon was closed for 7 hours today after a fatal crash. It happened near Cumnor on the A420 at Besselsley. Emergency services were called just after 5 o'clock this morning. 2 cars collided head-on. Both drivers were taken to hospital with serious injuries, but one later died. A senior police officer from Aylesbury has been sacked by Thames Valley Police. Chief Inspector Julian Collinson was found to have committed multiple breaches of professional standards by a misconduct hearing. They include failing to disclose a personal relationship with another officer and then being involved inappropriately with their job application. Now, Oxford United face the champions of England, Manchester City, at the Kassam Stadium tonight. It's the quarter-final of the League Cup, a trophy that Oxford won in 1986. The club has also unveiled its new training facilities as it invests in developing future talent. Well, our reporter Jeremy Stern is live for us there tonight. Jeremy, looking good. What's the mood like tonight?
Well, David, I think it'd be fair to say that the fans are arriving here at the Kassam Stadium in hope rather than expectation. Manchester City are one of the elite club teams in world football, and they've just arrived here actually in the past couple of minutes. Oxford United have done incredibly well to get this far to the quarter-finals. Whatever happens tonight, this is a club that appears to be going in the right direction.
Success on the football field often comes down to preparation off it. Oxford United now has a training ground it can call home. The centre near Hallspath was officially opened today.
Huge for our club. It's like this is our own home. that, we should have our own home and, be proud of this place. I'm not sure that we ever had this our own training ground before.
Could the training base make the difference tonight? Manchester City beat Oxford United in the Carabao Cup last season. Now United manager Carl Robinson has another chance to outwit Pep Guardiola.
They changed a little bit the difference they played last season. The way set up played, but played quite similar in terms of attack. And it was one game away. Everything can happen.
We know it's going to be almost impossible. But almost impossible. That means there's some sort of hope. And the big thing for us, and I've said this, it's not been like a stock answer, it's been important to us that we believe that the county, we want to make sure when the young kids go back into school tomorrow that they can actually say, oh yeah, I'm an Oxford United fan now, and maybe put them Premier League teams to one side.
When Oxford won this competition in the 1980s, Jim Smith was in the opposition dugout. But before joining QPR, he led United to the top league. Smith died last week and is being remembered here tonight. If United win, it would arguably eclipse anything even he achieved.
Flags at half-mast here for Jim Smith, and there'll be a minute's applause before the game. Simon Hathaway is from the Oxford Supporters Trust Group. Simon, what did Jim Smith mean to you and the fans here?
I think sometimes legend's an overused term, but for Jim Smith and Oxford United fans, he absolutely was a legend. I started supporting the club in 83, 84, his first spell in charge here, and fans more recently remember him from being here as a manager, and he was absolutely a legend for Oxford fans.
There's been mixed times for Oxford United since you've been supporting them. Where's the club now? Is it in good health?
I think it is, yeah. The owners are looking to make the club sustainable, which is so important. The manager's bringing in players that are young, hungry players, talented players who we can look to sell on at a profit and reinvest that into the club.
What's the next step for Oxford United? We hear a lot about the stadium. Is that central to how the club does in the future?
Yeah, it is. Sorting out some kind of arrangement here with either we stay here or we move to a new stadium or redevelop here. Whatever we do, it's getting that stadium situation sorted out that's so important for the future.
And what's your prediction tonight then?
I think we might do it on penalties.
Really?
Well, I hope so. Let's see, as long as it's not embarrassing.
Well, you can find out on the even later news just before 11 o'clock how Oxford get on. But I can tell you, if Oxford beat Manchester City, you will be able to hear the cheers from your sitting room. David.
Thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy Stern reporting there. Well, meanwhile, Aylesbury United Football Club have failed in their latest attempt to return to the town. They've been outbid at auction trying to buy back their old ground. Sven-Goran Eriksson's England trained at the site in 2002, but the Ducks left 13 years ago. They currently play at Chesham. United bid £650,000 for the ground, but it was sold for £150,000 more than that. It's not yet known who the new owner is. A 25-year-old from Milton Keynes has become the first woman to win a match at the Darts World Championship. Fallon Sherrock came from behind to stun world number 77 Ted Evans in London. She's only the fifth woman to play in the event and the first to win. She's now auctioning the dartboard she won to raise money for autism charities.
I'm so proud of myself to help put women's darts especially on the map now. I mean, there was always criticism that women couldn't compete against the men, we weren't good enough, so the fact that I've just proved it wrong, and in any sport I just think women can prove themselves, we can beat the men, we just need more opportunities.
A Swindon hair expert who designs wigs for chemotherapy patients has been honoured for her work. Linda Hutton's been supporting people with all sorts of hair loss for decades. She says that she's helped more than 4,000 people over the years, and now she's been presented with an award for outstanding services to the industry. Laura Jones went to meet her.
Oh, do you remember this day?
Meet Linda and her client Trish. Linda is a trichologist, a hair and scalp expert. She'd been cutting Trish's hair for years, but recently she had an even more important job to do.
I came here to have my hair cut. Linda did the cut. I said to her, this will be your last cut you'll be doing for me. And she said, oh, you're going away? No. And then I said to her, I'd been diagnosed with breast cancer.
Trish is now in remission and no longer needs the wig that Linda designed for her. But she says that was just one of the many ways she helped her get through it.
If she hadn't have been there, I never know what would have happened. I don't know what I would have done. But she is 1 in a million.
Linda is based at her salon here in Chiseldon near Swindon, but she also works with patients in hospital too. Over the years, she reckons she's helped more than 4,000 people with hairpieces and wigs, and now all her hard work has been recognised by the Institute of Trichologists in the form of a special award.
I hope that I can just make a little difference in people's lives while they go through this awful thing. We're a small, modest business, but I think the impact we've had on our patients has been hopefully quite massive.
But it's not just oncology patients that Linda helps. Pam has alopecia and comes here regularly to meet others living with hair loss and for advice about her hairpiece.
She's a lovely lady. She's so fantastic. And I come into the salon and not once they made me feel that I'm not normal.
For Linda, her work has become a way of life and she's very modest about what she's achieved. For those she does help, though, the difference she makes is often life-changing.
Well done, Zara. Well, children at Swindon's Great Western Hospital received an early Christmas surprise today. Staff from Wiltshire Police have collected more than 1,000 gifts for patients and families. The campaign was started by 101 call handler Susie Parsons. She spent time in the hospital after her newborn baby contracted meningitis.
So surprised. I only thought I was going to get 100. We've got 1,095, so surprised, but the generosity it makes me feel emotional because of how generous people are.
And the gifts will be handed out to patients in the children's ward, special care baby unit and across the hospital. And finally, the musician and entertainer Kenny Lynch, who lived in Nettlebed in Oxfordshire, has died at the age of 81. He's one of the first black singers in British pop music and went on to have a successful TV career in entertainment. He was awarded an OBE in 1970. His daughters confirmed his passing on social media. Well, that's it from me. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good evening. I'll see you soon.